I guess some people do. I think the whole concept of the role model has been a little bit skewed too much towards, oh my God, we must worship this celebrity, we must put him on a pedestal. I think that's a little bit too much. I think we can admire people for what they do. Maybe, you know, admire Kurt Cobain for being a musical genius. But of course not follow him as a role model and himself, you know.
He died from drug overdose.
Didn't he shoot himself in the head as well?
Did he?
I thought he shot himself after being high.
Oh. Okay,
well, whatever, you know, the whole drug thing, you know, that's not a good thing. So follow what you admire in people. I think that should be the key. And as far as I go, I suppose, you know, some people look up to losers, and some people do look up to the dorky guys.
Geek!
Thank you. But yeah, I guess we do. And at the end of the day, I strongly feel that if you need somebody to tell you how to live your life, then maybe you shouldn't be living at all.
I think I'm a role model to some and a friend to many. I mean, being on radio, you know, you're somebody's companion for the morning, somebody's companion for the night. Some people look up to me, especially those who want to become radio DJs. I'm very thankful, very honored. At the same time,
Shameless!
That too. Quite humbled in a way. But sometimes, you know, thinking of myself as a role model for other people, that's when I check my behavior. Yeah, so it actually makes me think twice before I, you know, take a table and flip it because the food's not good at a restaurant. Yeah, I want to do that so much. I want to, but you know, I decide against it because, hey, somebody there knows me. Yeah.
Personally, I don't think so because I'm still learning quite a lot from the veteran artists as well. So I still think I have a lot more to go. So. We shall learn together.
It's quite obvious he's a role model for people like McDonald's, but I hope people don't see us as role models, because what we do on air is purely entertainment. We lead both very personal lives, private lives. But I mean, I'd like to see us as role models for people who want to be entertainers or who want to be on radio. But that's, I guess, where it stops.
I guess the thing that we want people to follow is simply you know, the motto that we live by, which is learn to laugh at yourself, because when you do, then you can laugh at everybody else and the world can laugh along with you. That's where you have fun, that's where you enjoy yourself. But the stuff specifically that we do, especially on the air, we, you know, very often before the start of the show, we always have a don't try this at home, just to be sure, you know, nobody just, you know, follows us and does the wrong thing.
Well, in a way, I think we have a kind of social responsibility, because we have fans who are like quite young, who are in school, and sometimes they do look up to us. And I have a blog, and sometimes they do read my blog, and they do leave comments like, oh, yeah, you know, the books that you read and what, and they will read the books that I read, or they will read the things that I type, and sometimes they will even follow, like, well, they would see me as a role model in some sense, and I think it's a kind of social responsibility that we do have to carry ourselves properly, and to make sure that we don't do anything that would lead them astray. Yeah.
Actually, for many years, when I first started doing what I was doing, I didn't think of myself as a role model, and then slowly as I met more and more people, especially the younger generation, I have the good fortune of meeting younger kids saying, you know, when I grow up I want to be just like you. And that's when it starts to hit home that, you know what you're doing, you are being a role model just by virtue of the profession that you've decided to take on.
A few, you know, like I said, I admire certain people. I'm a huge wrestling fan. One of my role models was Chris Benoit because of his work ethic. But then again, you got to break it down, because he had great work ethic, but he killed his family and hung himself. So, you know, that's not exactly role model quality, right? So you take what you need from the people that you look up to and use it for your own. And lead your own life, man. Yeah.
Brilliant answer.
Thank you.
Brilliant answer.
I scripted that the whole night.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What he said. One of my role models would be Flying Dutchman. You know, the weirdest thing of all is that he's the host of this show, and I look upon him as a role model because he's the professional. He's the best at what he does, and that's why he is where he is today. And you know, I love his work ethic. I love his humor. I love you know, how his brain works and how down to earth he is, and how he enjoys the little things in life. So he's my role model.
Alamak, marry him lah. You like so much.
I proposed once, but he said no.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I don't really have a particular role model. I would say that I've been brought up rather strict, and I'm quite happy that, well, I've ended up this way because of my upbringing. And I think it's really like, it's really your own determination and how you view things that determine who you are. So it's just really like being able to differ from right and wrong and to do the things that you think is right. Yeah, so I think that ultimately boils down to that.
Moses Lim for him. And it's very hard to pick one particular role model because there are just so many. Role models in life would obviously be by default your parents, you know, people you look up to when you grow up.
My goodness, if I was like my mom or my dad, I would kill myself.
If you were like your mom or your dad, you better kill yourself.
Yeah.
But you know, then in your work life or on radio, there are a lot of role models that we have as well, like DJs that we look up to and respect, both locally and internationally. So to put one role model at the forefront would be just too difficult.
Ronald McDonald, my favorite.
I actually take fanboy as my role model because I think since when I was young, I've always been adoring her and admiring her. So yeah, I always take her as an example. Whatever she do and how far she goes, she's always my role model.
My role models, they're actually my mom and dad, just based on all the challenges and difficulties they've had to go through bringing my brother and I up. Yeah, they're definitely my role models.